Hey guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Numbers 24 to 30, Proverbs 6, and Psalm 133. Let's get started. When Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he did not go as at other times to look for omens, but set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes and saw Israel camping tribe by tribe. And the Spirit of God came upon him, and he took up his discourse and said, The oracle of Balaam the son of Beor, the oracle of the man whose eyes are open, the oracle of him who hears the words of God, who sees the vision of the Almighty, falling down with his eyes uncovered. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, and your encampments, O Israel, like palm groves that stretch afar, like gardens beside a river, like aloes that the Lord has planted, like cedar trees beside the waters. The water shall flow from his buckets, and his sea shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. God brings him out of Egypt, and it is for him like the horns of the wild ox. He shall eat up the nations, his adversaries, and shall break their bones in pieces, and pierce them through with his arrow. He crouched, he laid them down like a lion, and like a lioness, who will rouse them up. Blessed are those who bless you, and cursed are those who curse you. And Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and struck his hands together. And Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemy, and behold, you have blessed them these 3 times. And therefore now flee to your own place. And I said, I will certainly honor you, but the Lord held you back from honor. And Balaam said to Balak, Did I not tell your messengers whom you sent to me? If Balak should give me his house full of silver and gold, I would not be able to go beyond the word of the Lord, to do either good or bad of my own will. When the Lord speaks, that I will speak. And now, behold, I am going to my people. Come, I will let you know what this people will do to your people in the latter days. And he took up his discourse and said, The oracle of Balaam the son of Beor, the oracle of the man whose eyes open, and the oracle of him who hears the words of God, who knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of the Almighty, falling down with his eyes uncovered. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but now not you. And a star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. It shall crush the forehead of Moab, and shall break down all the sons of Sheth. Edom shall be dispossessed, Seir and his enemies shall be dispossessed. Israel is doing valiantly, and one from Jacob shall exercise dominion, and destroy the survivors of cities. And he looked on Amalek and took up his discourse and said, Amalek was the first among the nations, but his end is utter destruction. And he looked on the Kenite and took up his discourse and said, Enjoy is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock. Nevertheless, Cain shall be burned, and when a shore takes you away captive. He took up his discourse and said, Alas, who shall live when God does this? A ship shall come from Kittim, and shall afflict Asher and Eber, and he too shall come to utter destruction. And Balaam arose and went back to his place, and Balak also went his way. While Israel lived in Shittim, the people began to whore with the daughters of Moab. He invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. So Israel yoked himself to Baal-peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And the Lord said to Moses, Take all the chiefs of the people and hang them in the sun before the Lord, that the fierce anger of the Lord may turn away from Israel. And Moses said to the judges of Israel, Each of you kill those of his men who yoked themselves to Baal-peor. And behold, one of the people of Israel came and brought a Midianite woman to his family in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of the whole congregation of the people of Israel, while they were weeping in the entrance of the tent of meeting. When Phinehas the son of Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest saw, he arose and left the congregation, and took a spear in his hand, and went after the men into the chamber, and pierced both of them. And the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. Thus the plague on the people of Israel was stopped. Nevertheless, those who died by the plague were 24,000. Then the Lord said to Moses, Phinehas the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the people of Israel, so that he was jealous of my jealousy among them, so that I did not consume the people of Israel in my jealousy. Therefore say, Behold, I give to him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and to his descendants after him the covenant of perpetual priesthood, because he was jealous for his God and made a shame of the people of Israel. And Naaman, the slain man of Israel, was killed with the Midianite woman, but Zimri the son of Saul, chief of the fathers, and slain to the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosby, the daughter of Zerah, who was the tribal head of her father's house in Midian. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Harass the Midianites and strike them down. Now they had harassed you with their wiles, with which they bewailed you in the manner of Peor. And in the matter of Cosby, the daughter of the chief of Midian, their sister, who was killed on the day of the plague on account of Peor. After the plague, the Lord said to Moses and to Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, Take a census of all the congregation of the people of Israel, and 20 years old and upward, with their fathers' houses, and all Israel who were able to go to war. And Moses and Eleazar the chief priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho, saying, Take a census of the people, and from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses. The people of Israel came out of the land of Egypt were Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, the sons of Reuben, of Hanok, the clan of the Hanokites, of Palu, the clan of the Paluites, of Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the clan of the Carmites. These are the clans of the Reubenites, and those listed were 43,730. And the sons of Peled, Eliab, the sons of Eliab, Nemo, Dathan, and Abiram. These are the Dathan and Abiram, chosen from the congregation, who contended against Moses and Aaron and the company of Korah. When they contended against the Lord, and the earth opened up its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah, when their company died. When the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a warning. But the sons of Korah did not die. The sons of Simeon according to their clans of Nemo, the clans of the Nemanites of Jamin, the clan of the Jaminites, of Jachin, the clan of the Jacinites, of Zerah, the clan of the Zerahites, of Shul, the clan of the Shulamites. These are the clans of the Simeonites, 22,200. The sons of Gad according to their clan, of Zephon, the clan of the Zephonites, of Haggi, the clan of the Haggites, of Shuni, the clan of the Shunites, of Ozani, the clan of the Ozanites, of Ari, the clan of the Arites, of Arad, the clan of the Arites, of Arali, the clan of the Aralites. These are the clans of the sons of Gad as they were listed, 40,500. The sons of Judah were and Onan. And Onan died in the land of Canaan, and the sons of Judah according to their clans were of Shelah, the clan of the Shelamites, of Perez, the clan of the Perizzites, of Zerah, the clan of the Zerahites, and the sons of Perez were of Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, of Hamel, the clan of the Hamelites. These are the clans of Judah as they were listed, 76,500. The sons of Isaac according to their clans, of Tola, the clan of the Tolaites, of Puva, the clan of the Punites, of Jasher, the clan of the Jashebites, of Shimon, the clan of the Shimonites. These are the clans of Isaac as they are listed, 64,300. The sons of Zebulun according to their clans, of Sarah, the clan of the Saradites, of Elon, the clan of the Elonites, of Jahleel, the clan of the Jahleelites. These are the clans of the Zebulunites as they are listed, 60,500. The sons of Joseph according to their clans, Manasseh and Ephraim. The sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the clan of the Machirites, and Machir was the father of Gilead, the clan of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead, of Izer, the clan of the Izerites, of Helek, the clan of the Helekites, and of Asriel, the clan of the Asrielites, and of Shechem, the clan of the Shechemites, and of Shemida, the clan of the Shemidites, and of Hefer, the clan of the Heferites. Now Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, had no sons, but daughters, and the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahlah, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the clans of the Manasseh, and those listed were 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim according to their clans, of Shuthalah, the clan of the Shuthalites, of Betcher, the clan of the Betcherites, of Tahan, the clan of the Tahanites. And these are the sons of Shuthalah, of Aaron, the clan of the Aaronites. These are the clans of the sons of Ephraim as they were listed, 82,500. These are the sons of Joseph according to their clans, the sons of Benjamin according to their clans, Bela of the clan of the Belalites, of Ashbel, the clan of the Ashbelites, of Ahira, and the clan of the Ahiramites, of Shephathim, the clan of the Shephamites, of Hupham, the clan of the Huphamites, and the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman, of Ard, the clan of the Arders, of Naaman, the clan of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin according to their clans, and their listed were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan according to their clans, of Shuham, the clan of the Shuhamites. And these are the clans of Dan according to their clans. All the clans of the Shuhamites, as they are listed, with 64,400. And the sons of Asher, according to their clans, of Imnah, the clans of the Imnites, of Ishvi, the clan of the Ishvites, of Beriah, the clan of the Berites. And of the sons of Beriah, of Heber, the clan of the Heberites, of Malchiel, the clan of the Malchielites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the clans of the sons of Asher, as they are listed, 53,400. The sons of Naphtali, according to their clans, of Jaziel, the clan of the Jazielites, of Guni, the clan of the Gunites, and of Jezer, the clan of the Jezerites, of Shalom, the clan of the Shalamites. These are the clans of Naphtali, according to their clans, and those listed were 45,400. This is the list of the people of Israel, 601,730. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, among these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of things. To a large tribe you shall give a large inheritance, and to a small tribe you shall give a small inheritance. Our tribe shall be given its inheritance in proportion to its list, but the land shall be divided by law. According to the names of the tribes of their fathers they shall inherit, and their inheritance shall be divided according to the law between the large and the small. This is the list of the Levites according to their clans, of Gershon, the clan of the Gershonites, of Kohath, the clan of the Kohathites, of Merari, the clan of the Merarites. These are the clans of Levi, the clan of the Libnites, the clan of the Hebrites, the clan of the Mahlites, the clan of the Mushites, the clan of the Korahites. And Kohath was the father of Amram, and the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Egypt. And she bore to Amram, and Aaron and Moses, and Miriam their sister. And to Aaron were born Nadab, Abihu, Elzah, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord. And those listed were 23,000. Every man from a month old and upward. They were not listed among the people of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the people of Israel. These were those listed by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who listed the people of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho. But among these were not one of those listed by Moses and Aaron the priest, who listed the people of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. And the Lord has said, "You shall die in the wilderness." Not one of them was left except Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. And then drew near the daughters of Zelophehad the son of Hepher, son of Geli, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, from the clans of Manasseh the son of Joseph. The names of his daughters were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest, and before the chief and all the congregation, at the entrance of the tent meeting, saying, "Our father died in the wilderness. He was not among the company of those who gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah. He died for his own sin, and he had no son. Why should in the name of our father be taken away from his clan? Because he knows that give us a position among our father's brothers." And Moses brought their case before the Lord. And the Lord said to Moses, "The daughters of Zelophehad are right. Shall give them possession of inheritance among their father's brothers, and transfer the inheritance of their father to them. And he shall speak to the people of Israel, saying, if a man dies and has no son, he shall transfer their inheritance to his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then he shall give his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, then he shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, then he shall give his inheritance to the nearest kinsman of his clan. He shall possess it, and it shall be for the people of his statute and rule, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the Lord said to Moses, "Go up into this mountain of Abraham, and see the land that I have given to the people of Israel. When you see it, years they shall be gathered to your people, as your brother Aaron was. Unless you rebel against my word in the wilderness, to sit when the congregation called, failing to uphold me and holy in the waters before their eyes." Moses spake to the Lord, saying, "Let the Lord of the spirits of war flash upon a man in every congregation. He shall go out before them and come in before them. He shall lead them out and bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord may not be as sheep that have no shepherd." So the Lord said to Moses, "Take Joshua the son of Nun, the man in whom is the Spirit, and lay your hand on him. Make him stand before Eleazar the priest and all the congregation. And you shall commission him in their sight. You shall invest him with some of your authority, and all the congregation inquire from him by the judgment of you and before the Lord. And at his word he shall go out, and at his word he shall come in. Both he and all the people who shall with him, the whole congregation, and Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and made him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole congregation. And he laid his hands on him and commissioned him as the Lord directed through Moses. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Command the people of Israel and say to them, I'm offering my food for my food offering, and pleasing around me. You shall be careful to offer to me at its appointed time. And you shall say to them, this is the food offering that you shall offer to the Lord. 2 male lambs a year old without blemish, day by day. And a regular offering, but 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at twilight. This is 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of beaten oil. This is a regular burnt offering, which was ordained at Mount Sinai for a placing aroma. A food offering to the Lord. This drink offering shall be 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. In the whole place you shall pour out a drink offering, a strong drink to the Lord. The other lamb you shall offer at twilight, like a grain offering of the morning, and like its drink offering you shall offer it as a fruit offering, with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. On the Sabbath day 2 male lambs a year, without blemish, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a grain offering mixed with oil and its drink offering. This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath, besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. At the beginning of your months you shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 bulls from the herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish. Also 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour for a grain offering, mixed with oil for each bull, and 2/10 of fine flour for a grain offering, mixed with oil for the 1 ram, and 1/10 of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for every man, for a burnt offering with a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. A drink offering shall be half a hin of wine for a bull, 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. This is the burnt offering of each month throughout the months of the year. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering to the Lord shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. On the 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover, and on the 15th day of this month is a feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread begin. On the first day there shall be holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. Offer a food offering, a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 bulls from the herd, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old. See that they are without blemish. Roast their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah shall you offer a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. A tenth shall you offer for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 male goat for a sin offering to make atonement for you. You shall offer these besides the burnt offering of the morning, which is a regular burnt offering. In the same way you shall offer daily for 7 days the food of a food offering with a living aroma to the Lord. It shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and a drink offering. And on the 7th day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. On the day of the first week, when you offer a grain offering of new grain to the Lord in your feast of weeks, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. You offer a burnt offering with placing aroma to the Lord. 2 bulls from the herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old. Roast their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for 1 male, a tenth for each of the 7 lambs, and with 1 male goat to make atonement for you. Besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, you shall offer them in their drink offering. See how they are without blemish. On the first day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. It is a day for you to blow the trumpets, and you shall offer a burnt offering for a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 1 bull from the herd, and 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old without blemish. Roast their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, with 1 male goat for a sin offering to make atonement for you. Besides the burnt offering of the new moon and its grain offering, and the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, and their drink offering according to the rule for her placing aroma a food offering to the Lord. On the 10th day of this 7th month you shall have a holy convocation, and afflict yourself. You shall do no work, but you shall offer a burnt offering to the Lord. And pleasing aroma, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old. See that they are without blemish. And their grain offering shall be a fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. There is 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the sin offering of atonement, and the regular burnt offering and its grain offering, and the drink offering. And on the 15th day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work. And you shall keep a feast till the Lord 7 days. And you shall offer a burnt offering, a food offering, and a pleasing aroma to the Lord. 13 bulls from the herd, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old. They shall be without blemish, and their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 lambs. So 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, his grain offering and his drink offering. On the 2nd day 12 bulls from the herd, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantities. So 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and his grain offering, and their drink offerings. On the 3rd day 11 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offering for the bulls and the rams. So 1 male for the rams and for the lambs in the prescribed quantities. There is 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and its drink offering. On the 4th day, 10 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offering for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, prescribed quantity. There is 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, with its grain offering and its drink offering. On the 5th day, 9 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offering for the bulls, and for the rams, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantity. There is 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, and its grain offering and its drink offering. On the 6th day, 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, without blemish, with their grain offering and the drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, in their prescribed quantities. There is 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering and its drink offerings. On the 7th day, 7 bulls. On the 7th day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs a year old, without blemish, with the grain offering and the drink offering, and the drink offering for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs, within their prescribed quantity. Is there 1 male goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 8th day you shall have a solemn assembly. You shall not do any ordinary work. You shall offer a burnt offering, food offering, with a placing aroma to the Lord, 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs a year old, without blemish, and the grain offering and the drink offerings for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs, in the prescribed quantity. And so 1 pound goat for a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering and its grain offering and its drink offering. These you shall offer to the Lord and your appointed feast, in addition to your vow offerings and your freewill offerings, for your burnt offerings, and for your grain offerings, and for your drink offerings, and for your peace offerings. And so Moses told the people of Israel everything, just as the Lord commanded Moses. And Moses spake to the heads of the tribes of the people of Israel, saying, This is what the Lord has commanded. If a man vows a vow to the Lord, and swears an oath to bind himself by a pledge, he shall not break his word. And he shall not err according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. If a woman vows a vow to the Lord and binds herself by a pledge, while within her father's house in a youth, and if her father hears of her vow and her pledge, or any which she has bound herself and says nothing to her, then all her vows shall stand, which every pledge which she has bound herself shall stand. And if her father opposes her on the day he hears of it, no vow of her, no vow has no pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand, and the Lord will forgive her, because her father opposes her. If she marries her husband while under vows or any thoughtless utterance of her lips which she has bound herself, and her husband hates her and says nothing to her on the day that he hears, then her vow shall stand, and her pledges by which she has bound herself shall stand. And if on the day her husband comes to hear her, then he makes void of her vow that was on her, and thoughtless utterance on her lips which she has bound herself, and the Lord will forgive her. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound herself by a pledge with an oath, and her husband heard her and did nothing to her, and did not oppose her, then all her vows shall stand. Every pledge by which she bound herself shall stand. And if her husband makes them null and void on the day he hears, then whatever proceeds out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning her pledge of herself, shall not stand. Her husband has made them void, and the Lord will forgive her. Any vow or any binding oath to afflict herself, her husband may establish, or her husband may make void. But if her husband says nothing to her from day to day, then he establishes all her vows on her pledges that are upon her. And he is establishing because he said nothing to her on the day that he had them. And he makes them null and void after he has had them, then he shall pay her indignity. These are the statutes that the Lord commanded Moses about a man and his wife, and about a father and his daughter, while she is in her youth within her father's house. Proverbs 6. My son, if you put security for your neighbor, if you give on your pledge to a stranger, if you will stand in the words in your mouth, go in the words in your mouth, then do, my son, and save yourself. If you come into the hand of your neighbor, go hasten, and plead urgently with your neighbor. Give your eyes no sleep, and your eyes no slumbers. Save yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to your ant or slug, consider our ways and be wise, without having any chief officer or ruler. If you gathers her bread in summer, and gathers her food in harvest, how long will you lie there slugging? When you arise from your sleep, a little slumber, a little falling of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a rock, and want like an armed man. A worthless person, a wicked man, goes about with crooked speech, moves with his eyes, signals with his feet, runs with his finger, and with a perverted heart devises evil. Continually sowing discord, therefore calamity will come upon him suddenly. In the moment he will be broken beyond healing. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are no abomination to him. 40 eyes are lying down, your hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who reason lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. My son, keep your father's commandment, forsake not your mother's teaching. And write them on your heart always, tie them around you. When you walk, they will lead you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. And when you awake, they will talk with you. For the commandments of the lamp and the teaching of the life, and they reprove and discipline on the way of life, to reserve from the evil one, from the smooth tongue of the adulterers. Do not desire beauty in your heart. Do not let her capture you with her eyelashes. For the price of a prostitute is only a life of her. But a married one hunts down a precious life. Can a man carry fire next to his chest and his clothes not be burned? Or can one walk on hot coals and his feet not be scorched? So if he goes into his neighbor's wife, none who touches her will go unpunished. He will do not despise a thief if he steals, but if he is caught, he will pay to satisfy his appetite when he is hungry. If he is caught, he will pay sevenfold. He will give all the goods of his house. He commits adultery and lacks sense. He does it, destroys himself. He will get wind and dishonor, and his disgrace will not be wiped away. For jealousy makes a man furious. He will not spare when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation. He will refuse though he multiply gifts. Psalm 133. Behold, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. It's like the precious oil on the head, running down on the beard of Aaron, running down the collar of his robe. It is like the dew of heaven which falls on the mountains of Zion. From there the Lord commanded his blessing, life forevermore. Now this done, I shall now do the Lord's prayer. Lift your hands, O Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.